Feast! 行くぞ!
So there has been so many theories over the years about Blackbeard, and still to this day he's one of the most mysterious characters in the story. But for years now it's been one mystery after another with him, and while there has been some ideas that could explain one thing, they couldn't explain another. However, we believe we finally have all the answers wrapped into one. First off, we all know that Blackbeard is the opposite of Luffy, night and day, yin and yang, but we also know or believe that Luffy is the reincarnation of Joy Boy as Roger was before him. So who is Blackbeard reincarnated after? For the first time ever, we believe we have the answer: the brother of Joy Boy. Let's find out more in this video. Marshall D. Teach, The Evil Spirit Within Him, The Rebirth of Roxy Xebec by Legendary Anime. Hi everyone, Flying Panda. Before we begin, please click like on the video and subscribe if you haven't, and of course, join our Discord. And at the end of the video, stay tuned for a special guest. Continuing from where we left off, we mentioned that the final battle will be Luffy against Blackbeard, and as such, we should explain our views of how this battle will go down and why. I've seen comments and our predictions that Luffy will face Im-sama or even the Marines for the final battle. However, we don't agree. Sure, it's understandable why some people will think that, but we are forgetting some other major characters more suited for those battles with greater reason and purpose. While the Marines are indeed the natural enemies of the pirates, pirates do try to avoid encounters with them, as it doesn't serve much of a purpose for pirates to fight Marines, as what is there to gain? Pirates by nature seek treasures and riches, not so much fame and glory. Maybe some do, but ultimately they would avoid the Marines if they could. So who suited to fight them better than pirates? Of course, the Revolutionary Army, which undoubtedly they will, but also the Marines of True Justice. We did a theory a few years ago about this, and as not to take up too much time explaining the theory here, we suggest you go watch it after this one. The main purpose though will be Marines such as Garp joining forces with the Revolutionary Army and taking down the agents of Absolute Justice. So Garp vs Aki Inu. Next is Im-sama. Who better to take on this person than Monkey D. Dragon? The world is run in Im's image and governs from the shadows, so the man working from the shadows to bring about a new world would have to be Dragon. Im-sama might even still be classed as a celestial dragon, so it's Dragon vs Dragon for world order. That leaves Luffy facing Blackbeard, and we're given a number of reasons in the past as to why, mainly because we believe that Blackbeard will kill Shanks before the final war, and that Blackbeard will gain the One Piece before Luffy reaches it, hence taking the title of Pirate King for himself. The title of Pirate King alone is just enough of a reason for Luffy to face Blackbeard, not even taking into account Ace's death, which Blackbeard is part responsible for. But in the end, it should be pirate versus pirate for the title and the ultimate treasure. Luffy's battle against Blackbeard is going to be a battle if willpower. So yes, Haki, but they're both Devil Fruit users, so the Devil Fruits will play their part too. This is why in the last theory we said that reverse gear will be the trump card, as in the state Luffy will be on par with a god in terms of power, and as such he'll need that power to overpower Blackbeard's gravitational pull, the Vortex. The Vortex pulls Devil Fruit users in. Once held in the hand of this power, the victim's Devil Fruit power is nullified. This is quite possibly the worst power to be up against for any Devil Fruit user, but it seems Blackbeard doesn't use it too much often, which means it has limits. In every battle we've seen Blackbeard, he only used that move once. Why? Could it be that move has a limit to possibly only being used once per day, or could it only work once on each user? It's quite possible that it's the first conclusion. However, let's not rule out the second just yet. Remember, when we did see Blackbeard use his power, this was only before the time skip, and as a result not long had the power and was likely still getting used to it. I think the best example though to support this first conclusion is the Marineford War. As before, Blackbeard arrived and used the power on Whitebeard. He faced Magellan and impaled down and then used it on him. This possibly explains the limit of that move, as Blackbeard might have calculated that he had to save the use of it for his fight against Whitebeard, as he likely feared Whitebeard more than he did Magellan. He would say that even Blackbeard nullifies Luffy's Devil Fruit, he'll just use Haki, but what you don't take into consideration is the fair amount of Luffy's strength is in the Devil Fruit power. Yeah, of course Luffy is unnaturally strong for someone of his size, but it's the force of stretching his arms and other limbs to the point where it builds up tremendous speed, force that creates a lot of his strongest attacks. And given Blackbeard's unnatural stamina, we highly doubt a normal human Luffy, even coated in Haki, would be able to take out Blackbeard. Besides, what if Blackbeard also has Haki? Then it's a clash of Haki versus Haki, and yet Blackbeard has the upper hand and he still has not one but 2 Devil Fruits at his disposal, which gives him an edge if he's able to cancel Luffy's Devil Fruit. As a rule of thumb, Luffy doesn't take much if all damage from standard attacks, but by this we meant blunt forces, as in punch for example. It wasn't until Haki was revealed that Luffy couldn't take an Haki infused attack which counters his rubber body. So as we pointed out, should Luffy lose that rubber body, he's going to take even greater damage from an attack from Haki or even Blackbeard's Quake Devil Fruit. So assuming that Blackbeard can only once or maybe twice a day, Luffy simply has to avoid it at all costs or endure the weakness until it's lifted. Then it's just a question of whose willpower will prevail in the end. Spoiler, it'll be Luffy. In this fight we also predict that Luffy will lose one of his arms. This is heavily foreshadowed within the series, and let's face it, what better tribute could there be for Luffy after Shanks give one of his arms save Luffy? Luffy might even consider this as an act of repayment to Shanks, as it's done by Shanks' killer, and Luffy would take Blackbeard's life in return. More about this in another theory. But is the title Pirate King alone just the reason for the battle? What if there is another factor, one set in motion by destiny? Now comes the real theory. All this has been leading up to the moment. Prepare yourselves, for we have the answers finally to Blackbeard's secret. Bold claim, yes, we know, as there's been so many theories over the years about Blackbeard, and still to this day he's one of the most mysterious characters in the story. But for now, it's been one mystery after another with him, and while there's been some ideas that could explain one thing, they couldn't explain another. However, we believe we finally have all the answers wrapped into one. First off, we all know that Blackbeard is the opposite of Luffy. Night and day, yin and yang. We also know or believe that Luffy is a reincarnation of Joy Boy, as Roger was before him. So who is Blackbeard reincarnated after? For the first time ever, we believe we have the answer. The brother of Joy Boy, Woe Boy. Now before you laugh at the funny name, which I'm sure some of you are, let us explain who and what is woe. Woe is the opposite word to joy. Joy is to bring happiness and enjoyment to oneself or others. Woe, on the other hand, is the opposite of something which prevents a being from experiencing happiness or good in their lives or inflicting harm. Remember that inflicting harm's hard, as it's gonna be very important in what's to come. Yes, Woe Boy, the brother Joy Boy. Now the name Joy itself is rather odd, and we had some thoughts for a while now that it might just be a nickname for him, but as we have no other leads to the real name, we have to work with what we got, and Woe is the opposite to Joy, so it seems only fitting to assume what's his name or nickname. As such, Woe Boy is rival with brother Joy, as they are two opposites of the same coin and may have fought for the right to rule during the Ancient Kingdom's time. It's our belief that Woe Boy couldn't best his brother and as a result left the world bitter and vowed to return one day and claim what he believes is rightfully his. But how would he return? We have wondered if he might have been the original possessor of the Yomi Yomi Nomi, but then that wouldn't make any sense at all, as Brook is now the user of the Devil Fruit. So how then? Looking for alternative solutions, we came across something that might explain this and more. It also fits into the theme relating to Blackbeard, the theme of free. For years now, we as well as many other One Piece theorists have looked and tried to work out if Blackbeard has 3 types of devil fruits. We know he has a paramecia, a logia, but what about Zone? Legendary Anime's original theory was that he was a hippo-based zone, using logic and science to explain it, but now there is another one. One that explains it far better, and even more so than the Cerberus theory. There is a creature of folklore and legend that has the ability and power to take on a spirit form, much like the effects of the Yomi devil fruit. The creature is the Wendigo. The Wendigo, also Wetiko, is a mythical creature of evil spirits from the folklore of the First Nations, Algonquian tribes based in the northern forests of Nova Scotia, the east coast of Canada and Great Lakes regions of Canada and the United States. The Wendigo is described as a monster with some characteristics of a human, or as a spirit who has possessed a human being and made them become monstrous. Its influence is said to invoke acts of murder, insatiable greed, cannibalism, and a cultural taboo against such behaviors. This creature can take the form of a spirit and possess the bodies of humans. Notice its acts of murder and various other taboos are very much like Blackbeard's character. We believe even Whitebeard stayed to teach that he committed the only taboo on Whitebeard's ship, killing a nakama, which is why we said to remember what woe means, the inflicting harm, as someone of this nature would kill without remorse. Now, how does this fit in with the theme of free? Well, Woe Boy is likely the original user of the mythical zone dog model Wendigo, and when he died 800 to 900 odd years ago, he likely used the power of the zone type to return his soul to the earth plane like Brook did, and laid in wait for the day his reincarnation would be born. Blackbeard? No, there was someone before Blackbeard, the man who rivals Goldie Roger, Roxy Xebec. Xebec challenged Roger for the title of pirate again, and it's highly believed that Xebec is the father of Marshall D. Teach, but this doesn't have to be the case. What if Teach is just the next reincarnation? Here's how we see it. Rox was around 38 years ago, but fell to Roger and Garp and disappeared from the world not long after. Now Blackbeard joined the Whitebeard Pirates 20 years ago when he was 12, which means Xebec went missing from the world between the time Teach was 2 to 12 years old. If Xebec was possessed by Woe Boy, then when Xebec fell, Woe Boy possessed Teach as the next reincarnation and likely took Xebec's soul with him, meaning 2 extra souls possesses Teach's body, meaning he has 3 souls within him. And if Xebec was the original user of the Yami Yami no Mi, then this could explain how Teach knew what the devil looked like, as Xebec would remember it. Didn't Teach say the devil chose him, meaning he came back to his former owner? If that isn't enough to convince you, then how about this? Xebec can be spelled another way, Xebec or Xebec. Notice it? Blackbeard's laugh, Zea ha 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 ha. This means that Blackbeard has the 3 souls within him, each holding one of the 3 types of devil fruits, Zone, Logia, and Paramecia. People have wondered how Blackbeard gave Shanks his 3 scars. They could have been part of the Wendigo's power, and is a monster with claws. Also, why doesn't he sleep? This can be explained by the anime logic, and as it doesn't have to make real world sense. But for an explanation, this could be due to having 3 souls within, as the voices will drive him mad and prevent him from sleeping. Also, the Wendigo is a creature of the night. In Oda's drawing of Blackbeard as a child, he's seen looking to the full moon and crying, almost like a woeness me feel to it. As a child, he likely suffered from not sleeping and not understanding what was going on within himself. It was torture for him. Full moon representing the Wendigo much like a werewolf, so he can't sleep because the creature within him won't let him. Something to consider with the Wendigo's nature is its greed. It has great desire for flesh, which means it never satisfied and seeks prey all the time. Blackbeard is greedy by nature too. This is depicted by jewelry and his appearances, as each time he's seen he gains more and more. He wants it all, wealth, power and fame, all the things Roger had, and if you remember, this was the opening statement to One Piece. And lastly, the Wendigo craves human flesh. Could this mean that Blackbeard in Wendigo form ate Whitebeard's flesh or maybe his heart to gain the devil fruit's power? Remember that he also has the Yami Yami no Mi, and while he's in total darkness under that cloth, the Wendigo is more at home as it's a creature of night. It hunts in the darkness. I'm sure you have many questions and we're more than happy to answer them, but rest assured, we are working on another video to explain all this in more detail, and even more to explain, such as the third brother to Joy Boy and Woe Boy. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. Now we have a special guest who are asking us some questions. I hope you enjoyed this video.
One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind, I designed this rhyme, explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock ticks life away, it's so unreal. Till you look out below, what time fly throughout the window. Trying to hold on, but didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, even though I tried. It all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard.